Hello and welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport, and today we are going back to 2016 and looking at a Formula E race from Paris, France. So far it's been all about Sébastien Buemi versus Lucas Di Grassi, and it's going to be interesting to see if that continues on. There's one driver change for this one. As I said in the last one, Salvador Duran has had his final Formula E race, and Marc Winghar is in the Aguri, and he will see out the season. So with that, let's watch Formula E Season 2, the Paris E-Prix of 2016.
And we're green in Paris. It's a good start from Di Grassi.
Terrible start from Sam Bird.
A fantastic start as well from Nico Prost. He dives up the inside, and here comes Di Grassi, surely to take the lead of the race into the right-hander of turn one. And Vern just about getting it stopped. Will everybody get it safely through? There's a bit of damage for Simona de Silvestro. She got a bad start, and then bodywork in the middle of the track. But Lucas Di Grassi takes the lead of the Visa Paris E-Prix at the first corner. Vern is up into second place. Bird drops from first down to third, Dario.
Nico Prost up to fourth there. That was a little more tame actually than I was even thinking it was going to be. Everybody got it stopped there. You can see Mike Conway's trying to make moves already from the back of the pack. You can see Nelson Piquet there, and a little bit of bother coming out of turn 7. Turn 8 here, this is a passing opportunity at the end of this long straight, but at this point Lucas Di Grassi checking out.
So it's Di Grassi who leads, it's Vern in second, Bird in third, Prost in fourth, Sarrazin in fifth. We're on board with Loic Duval as he battles with his Dragon teammate Jerome D'Ambrosio as they come around. That is the end of the first lap. This timing being there, that's where the laps start and finish.
Now teammates there obviously playing nice, and the last thing you want to do is take out your teammates, so you're probably giving slightly more respect than you would anybody else out there.
So it's pretty much a clean start. Simona de Silvestro got slammed against the wall, but she did survive, and no one has retired so far. Lucas Di Grassi is leading, Buemi is in the midfield. We've got the Dragons, who have been pretty quick up to this point. They're at the back, and so we have these fast cars behind slower cars. It's going to be interesting to see if they can make their way through the field, and to see if Di Grassi stays on top of the race.
And man, look at him, 77% energy. It's not like he's killing the energy here and he's going to have to pit early. He's doing a heck of a job.
Yeah, very impressive stuff then from Martien Khoa as going straight on
one
there.
One of the Dragon cars into 11.
We'll wait and see which one it was. It was Duval. Duval going straight on. And
something broken.
Oh, he's got a problem.
Yeah, gearbox sounds like.
So problems for Loic Duval. That could bring out a safety car potentially if that's as far as he can get away off the racing line. Lap 6 of 45.
It sounds like the final drive, doesn't it? You can hear the motors spinning, but there's no drive, and there's something flapping about mechanically there.
And there is Duval. He is parked up by the wall.
And cycle the car and try to block so we can go with the second car at some point. Try to pull one cycle, reset the car, and we'll try to go.
Whoa, look at that lunge from Robin Fraintz up the inside of Da Costa. Nicely done. Through 6, took the momentum up the inside. That's 8th place.
That was the move we were hoping to see through 6 into 7.
So we have our first casualty, and unfortunately it's Loic Duval. That Dragon did not sound healthy, but it's a shame because Loic Duval has been driving really well in this second season of Formula E. Dragon have been doing amazing, really, but he's parked up. It looks like we're going to have a safety car, but just before that, Robin Fraintz, awesome dive bomb on Antonio Felix da Costa. It was a fantastic move. That's really all that's happened so far. There's been a few overtakes here and there, mostly lower down the order. Marc Winghar did a good move as well, but so far, so-so.
And that didn't turn out as planned.
Wow, the problem was Robin had already braked. Sebastian was still pulling gears. A little misjudgment there.
Lap 9 of 45, and here comes Antonio Felix da Costa up the inside of Fraintz. How they didn't shunt into each other there, I will never know. That was incredibly close.
That was impressive, wasn't it?
They just about managed to get away with it. Di Grassi leads, Vern second, Bird third, Prost fourth, Sarrazin fifth, Turvey sixth. Buemi, Fraintz, Da Costa and Piquet completing the top 10. Only one retirement so far, Loic Duval for the Dragon team. And this, unfortunately for the Frenchman, is a day to forget. And here comes Sébastien Buemi on the outside now down to turn 8. Is he going to be able to pull this off? Oh, he did it! Wow, great stuff from Buemi, getting his job done on the brakes around the outside.
Sébastien Buemi finally gets past Oliver Turvey, and it was a good move around the outside. honestly, Oliver Turvey is doing a pretty good job. This is, I think, the highest up the field we've seen the Nextev Neo cars. Even Nelson Piquet is in the points at the moment. He's in 10th, which the season he's had, that would be a good result if he finishes up there. Antonio Felix da Costa almost ploughed through Robin Freins as well, which I'm guessing is returning the favour. But the cars up front, nothing's changed.
On his way forward there, and I can't tell you how impressive I think that is because of how difficult these cars are to drive and to handle. These other drivers have got massive experience in Formula E cars. Da Costa getting closer again to Turvey, trying to set up that pass. You've got to set it up a couple of corners before, build that momentum. Not close enough through the last corner there.
In the first 6 E-Prix, Antonio Felix da Costa has retired 4 times. He's finished in the points the other 2. Sebastian Buemi has just had a very fast first sector, so he is just 4/10 from the back of Stefan Sarazan, so that squabble over 5th position is about to kick off. Bruno Senna is now on the back of Nelson Piquet Jr. This is all the battle fundamentally over 8th, 9th, 10th and 11th coming through the Place Vauban.
Okay, so we're a third of the way through the race now. Nico Prost can't handle the pace of the top running guys. De Grassi and the Virgins have cleared off, and Prost is falling back into the hands of Sarazan and his teammate Buemi. Oliver Turvey has been a roadblock to everyone. Robin Freins managed to get past him okay, but Antonio Felix da Costa is getting a bit impatient. He's lunged at him a few times. They've come close to making contact. At the moment, Turvey is staying in the top 10, but they do seem to be both the Nextev Neo cars. They're 8th and 10th. They don't look particularly fast, and I don't really think they're going to score points in this race. Other than that, everything else has been pretty sensible, but Formula E usually kicks off in the second half after the pit stops, which will be about 8 or 9 laps time.
If you're Jean-Eric Vergne, you want to try and get as close as you can to the Grassi. When you get out in the second car, use that fan boost.
Yeah.
You know, if you can use that fan boost out of turn 14 into 1, you got a good chance of making a move there.
And what's happening here? Senna cruising past Nelson Piquet, and Daniel Abt going through as well. Has Nelson Piquet run into trouble?
There's a problem there, Jack, definitely. You know, he's worked so hard to get that car up to the front half of the grid, and it's just, it's all going away now. See, Daniel Abt has gone past too.
He's got a reasonable amount of usable energy remaining, so it's not as though he's having to slow. Here we go on board with Antonio Felix da Costa. There he goes, up the inside of Turvey, down into turn 1, and he gets through. So da Costa is past, perhaps. But that is da Costa up into 8th place then. Turvey down to 9th. And Buemi's past Sarazan as well. So Buemi is up into 5th position. Sarazan drops down to 6th. And now it's Nico Prost in 4th, Buemi in 5th, the 2 teammates.
Buemi straight away his personal best through sector 1. So he's now hunting down he's now hunting down Nico Prost.
How much French resistance are we going to see from Nico? Here's the move, late on the brakes into turn 1, and there we go.
What a move.
Yeah.
Nice. Textbook stuff there. How much resistance? I don't know. You know, it depends on the briefing they received. There's Nelson Piquet just really struggling there. I don't know what's happened to that.
No, really, really bad news for the next EV team, unfortunately, because Piquet was doing a good job.
Well, a load of stuff just happened. Buemi made a lovely move on Sarazan. Felix da Costa, a bit sloppier on Oliver Turvey, but he did get through. And just as I said, the Neo Nextev cars aren't going to score points. Nelson Piquet looks like he's breaking down. That is a shame, because he was running pretty much as high as we've seen him all year. But this race seems to be getting a bit spicy now, and we'll see if anything else happens before the pit stops.
And it's recyclable too, so I was quite impressed with that.
You can there's the move from Heidfeld up the inside of De Silvestro and gets
Contact.
through.
Contact. Oh, Simona's not happy about that, and he's jumped on the throttle there. You see the instant torque of the electric motor. Big snap of oversteer.
Nice move though from Nick Heidfeld. So look at Senna and Abt and their usable energy they've got remaining, and here we go, Verne and Bird going side by side, and one of the next EV cars getting involved because the 2 Renaults are right together as well. We're on board with Bird looking to the outside of Verne, but he needs to watch his mirrors too because those Renaults are coming. Buemi is ahead of Prost. Buemi has got past Prost. in that inter-Renault battle while we were watching that battle between Mar and De Silvestro. Buemi is through.
Because they're teammates, you cannot risk that sort of late dive into turn 7 that you've seen people do. It's just not it's not doable. You too much chance of taking out your teammate and yourself.
Well, we finally see Nick Heidfeld start to move up. I'm surprised we haven't seen him start to come through the field, but he has got a lot of energy left over, so maybe it's a strategy thing. It was a bit of a clumsy move getting past Simona Di Silvestro, but he has got through. Buemi has got past Prost as well, and the Virgins are bickering, so I'm sure Buemi will close on him soon. But we have got the pit stops coming up probably in the next lap or two. Kind of a shame actually, because the race is just getting good and the pit stops are kind of in the way. But we'll see if anything interesting happens or if anything changes.
You know, Lucas Di Grassi is 5.5 seconds up the road here. So if these guys, oh, here's the move.
Oh, at the inside goes Bird, and the two DS Virgin guys hit each other, and Bird holds on the inside, and that has allowed Sebastian Buemi to join the party, and this is going to get pretty heated now. We're on board with Sam Bird, down into 7. Everybody's having to defend. There goes Freights up the inside, and out of control goes Sarrazin, and Freights, I think, got that move done, and up into 6th place. And there we go, so
1%, this is close here.
This is very tight, isn't it? Di Grassi on 1%, Verne on 1%, Bird on 1% of usable energy remaining. When it gets to 0, if it gets to 0 before they've entered the pit lane, they're in trouble. But Di Grassi's in comes Bird, sideways, and then in comes Bird. Goodness me, this is going to be a race in the pit stops now. There is Lucas Di Grassi in the pits.
Damn these pit stops. Verne, I don't know if he made a mistake or he just got a bit squirmy, but Bird was almost up the inside of him. I don't know how Verne held on. There was a little bit of contact, but it was a strong move on your teammate. Buemi was right up behind him as well, so it was going to be a three-way fight. In fact, Prost wasn't far behind either. In the background, Freins jumped past Sarrazin as well, and now they're all in the pits. So we take a breath and we go again in about 2 minutes' time.
Also, another problem, unfortunately, for Ma. He had a very good start, did Ma Tianquan, but his pit stop was about 30 seconds longer than it needed to be. So that may again be getting used to doing the driver changes that he's never, or the car changes, I should say, that he's never had to do before. So he's now running down in 16th place. Nelson Piquet in 17th. You can see the order there in the tower on the left-hand side. The percentages, the usable energy remaining. We're on lap 28 of 45. And it's Di Grassi who is leading this E3, and as it stands, he would score 25 points, Buemi would score 12 points.
So nothing has really changed after the pit stops. Di Grassi has a massive lead, it's like 6 seconds I think. Virgins, as they were, they're pretty close together, but they have pulled away from the Dam's cars, and I think this might be the first instance, or at least the only instance I can think of off the top of my head, where these car changing pit stops have really gotten in the way of what was turning into a really good race. 4 cars really close together, going to the pits, swap cars, come back out, and now they're spread out again. It's still pretty close between the two sets of teammates, but it looked like we were on for a 4-way battle, and that's been taken away from us. Other than that, not much is happening. Marc Winghar is, I don't know if he's retiring or he's just having issues, or he had a long pit stop and then he went off, but I don't know if he's still running. And I think Abt went 2 laps longer than everyone else, so he should have some good energy. And I think he's in the top 10 as well, so we'll see what he can do.
And Lucas Di Grassi still 4.5 seconds up the road. It's amazing how your attitude changes. You know, Sam Bird, start of the season, seen that car behind him, would have thought, oh God, where is he going to pass? Now it's like he knows he can hold him off. If all things being equal, he probably can hold him off. And that's, you know, that'll be a different mindset, definitely.
You can see the gears there. Buemi's in 2nd gear at the moment. Sam Bird's in 1st, but Sam only has 1 gear, whereas Buemi does have 2 to choose from. Although we probably only tend to see Buemi use the 1st gear at the slower corners of the track. Look at this fantastic stuff, winding around the streets of Paris.
I haven't seen Buemi change gear yet.
So less than 10 laps left. Buemi has caught up to Sam Bird, and those two are now squabbling. But Sam Bird is putting up a good defence. Other than that, nothing has changed. I think Degrassi's been drawn in a little bit, but that might be him just taking it easy. So we'll see what these last 10 laps are like.
Oh, using a little bit too much. That's not the sign you want to hear.
No, because at some point you've got to pay. Do you know what I mean? At some point there comes a time you've got to write the check and pay. So you either use it now, or you save it now, or you save it later. The problem is, that boy behind, if you save a little bit, he's going to be all over you, and probably past you.
So up they come now once again towards the right-hander of turn 8. Buemi just dancing in the mirrors of Bird. But Bird is not going to be put off that easily. He took victory in the World Endurance Championship race at Silverstone last weekend. His first victory as a Works Ferrari driver. The back end getting away from Bird. Is that the possibility now for Buemi down this main straight? He throws it into 14.
Great run off of 14.
This is the battle over third place. Bird in front has got good straight line speed though. Buemi can't get close enough, and Bird covers the inside line. Super late on the brakes, locks up, goes straight on. Through goes Buemi. Bird very cunningly spins it back around and gets going. 10 out of 10 for that move from Bird, but Buemi is through.
So Sam Bird's defence finally falters, and that is a real big shame. It was a nice spin to get it back in the right direction. But Buemi is finally through, and he has been battling for that position for, it feels like, the majority of the second half of the race. So we are only 5 laps from the end. Lucas Di Grassi has cleared off. He's gone. Verne has got a bit of a gap back to Buemi now. And with the energy and time remaining, Buemi's going to struggle to catch him. The midfield's gone quiet. We haven't really seen too much action from there. So maybe it'll be a bit of a quiet run into the end of this race.
And that is at turn 14. Oh, he's gone in big. And that could bring out a safety car and could end the race.
Yeah, he's a video, but as long as you're okay.
Just checking that he's okay. But this man, Lucas Di Grassi, is leading this race.
2 safety cars coming out.
Yep, safety car deployed with 5 laps to go. And, well, they could crawl around behind the safety car because they can go really proper slowly, and if they manage to do that, we could get a couple of laps racing. This is very bad news for Lucas Di Grassi as the safety car deploys, and it depends on the French marshals here how quickly they can recover the car of Martin Roy.
They've got to clean up the carbon fibre too, because that would puncture a tyre pretty quickly there. You know, if I'm Di Grassi here, I want the guy to speed up. If I'm sitting here, if I'm one of you guys watching at home, slow the pace car down. Let's get a finish here under green. And the thing is, with the cold conditions, we've talked about it, getting heating tyres, it would be all action.
Here's what happened then. Oh,
overcorrected. Got sideways, overcorrected, and yeah.
Fans on their feet there in the
Di Grassi was right behind him.
Yeah, goodness
he
me.
was trying to stay on the lead lap. Or 1 lap down as opposed to going 2 laps down, should I say.
So we've got the safety car deployed.
Mark Ringhaar's in the wall. It's a shame. He made some good moves early on, but he never really featured. Crashed just in front of Lucas Di Grassi, which could have been embarrassing. But safety car, only a few laps left. I'm not sure we're going to get racing again. So this could be a result.
We will end this session behind the safety car. This session will end behind the safety car.
So that means Lucas Di Grassi is effectively the winner of the E-Prix, and there is delight for the team.
Well, he hasn't got there yet, but let's talk to Lucas here. We'll just wait till he's in a straight bit here. I don't want to talk to the middle of a corner and be the one responsible for anything
crashing
happening.
from the lead on the final lap under safety car. So he swings through the right-hander.
To turn 4 there, so a couple of corners. We'll give him a little dial up here and see how he's feeling.
Will be Lucas Di Grassi's 4th Formula E victory as he comes out now down towards turns 6 and 7.
Through that hairpin.
Yep, and I think DS Virgin will be satisfied with that, a 2nd and 4th.
Lucas, this is Dario. Fantastic drive there. You've only got a couple of corners to bring it home.
Very, very good race. I was really pushing at the limit, trying my best. Managed to have a good start and tricky conditions with the cold tires, but we managed to stay on track and don't do any mistakes.
Fantastic drive, flawless from the start. You're on a roll. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you.
So Lucas Di
There we
Grassi
go.
takes the checkered flag and wins the first ever Visa Paris E-Prix. It ends behind the safety car, slightly anticlimactically, but we had way more excitement throughout the previous 40 laps. Phenomenal race here in Paris. Delight for Lucas Di Grassi. 11 points clear now at the top of the championship.
And 2 Frenchmen on the podium.
Yep, so that is the end of the Paris E-Prix. Lucas Di Grassi with an absolutely flawless victory, lights the flag. It all looked pretty easy for him. Buemi managed to get into third by the end, so he hasn't lost out on too many points to Lucas. And that keeps it going. With just 3 races left, it's still very tight between those two. Great result for Jean-Eric Vergne as well, in his home country, getting a second place. Great result. It was a very busy race for Virgin. There's a lot of drivers in the points who did very well. Sarrazin and Frines, they did a great job. Antonio Felix da Costa as well. Shame it ended under safety car, but it was getting strung out anyway, so I don't think we'd have seen too much if the race had carried on, but you never know in Formula E. So with that, let's look at the drivers and teams standings after the Paris E-Prix. Actually, both sets of standings remain exactly the same. Edams leading not too far ahead of Abt Audi, with Dragon, who didn't score any points at this round, in third, Virgin closing up to just 6 points behind them, and Mahindra hanging on in fifth. In the driver standings, Lucas Di Grassi still leads the way, 11 points ahead of Sebastian Buemi. Sandberg is in third, Jerome D'Ambrosio and Stefan Sarrazin finish out the top 5. So that is all from this episode of Let's Watch Formula E Season 2. This was, I think, round 7. Yeah, round 7, the Paris E-Prix. And we'll be back very soon with the Berlin E-Prix. I might get it up in a couple of days or so. Thought I'd knock out 2 because we had 2 races and I was planning to do them around the races, but it never happened. So I'll get them out this week. We're going to Berlin, another race, and then it's just 2 more rounds at London. So not much to go. And we obviously still have a title fight between Di Grassi and Buemi to sort out. So thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and thank you to everyone who has recently. We've had a massive surge in subscribers. If you're watching this, thank you for showing your faces, and have a good one.